In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the power of building relationships with Facebook groups. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for today's episode of Interview Connections TV. It is a cold December morning here in Rhode Island, and I was just walking our neighbors to school. We walk them to school on Thursdays and Fridays. And I was gonna film a video while walking outside, but it is so cold and Nathan really just wanted to get home. So filming here in my living room, and thought I might have Nathan on my lap, but there was no way that was gonna happen without him just grabbing the camera. So we have Nathan over there in the corner watching his Truck Tunes YouTube video, which is my go-to video when I need to do something. So there you go. I don't know if you can actually hear the music, but it is well, if you have kids, you know the kind of music you start to hear when they're watching videos and TV shows, and it's a different world we're living in now. So anyway, today we're talking about Facebook groups and how powerful they are when building relationships. You know, I talk all the time in my podcast, Roads to Success, the importance of relationship marketing and how your business can grow fast if you really focus on relationships. And Facebook groups have been a big part of that for me because I haven't quite networked or built relationships with a lot of entrepreneurs in my local area, so being with people face to face is limited to 3, 4, 5 times at conferences, but those can't be the only times that you're actually building relationships. So when you're in Facebook groups, you can have conversations with people, ask questions, and provide feedback and value to people in your community. And then that can lead to people becoming friends with you on Facebook, private messaging with you, and people becoming your clients. So that's all happened to me. So I want to share a couple tips on how I interact on Facebook groups and how it's helped me in my business. Number one, the most important thing is to stay active in the group. It's really easy to just become a member of a bunch of groups, and then when you have a question, ask a question, and then never show up. But it's really important that if you're going to be in the group, you ask questions and you post in the group, but you also are answering questions and commenting on other people's posts. So you're providing value, but you're also, contributing to the conversation within the group. So don't just ask or don't just give feedback, but do both. Number two, don't use these groups as a place to complain or to vent or to post stuff that annoys you. I mean, I'm in some groups for podcasters, and I'm in some groups for women business owners, and sometimes I see people that they want to use those groups as a chance to talk about a type of podcast that really bugs them, or they want to talk about how it's so annoying when guests do this, and then everyone's commenting back and forth, yeah, I hate that, but that's so negative. And really, for somebody that doesn't know you to see that you're just the person posting their, to see that you're just an irritable person, it doesn't really give off the best message. So vent to your friends, vent to your coach, vent to your mentor, but be careful about how much you're venting and complaining in public groups. And number three, when you're providing comments and providing feedback on other people's posts, definitely provide that feedback, but don't be too strongly opinionated. Yesterday, there was a really good thread going back and forth in the She Podcast group where we were talking about should guests have to provide questions to the host, and there were a lot of great angles. I mean, different people, depending on your category of podcast, if it's a hobby podcast or if it's business podcast, who the guests are you're having. There were, quite frankly, a lot of different points, and you are going to be hearing the truck tunes in the background here, so sorry about that, but the volume fluctuates. So anyway, there were a lot of good comments going back and forth, and I mean, what I said is I gave my feedback of what I thought what I thought was right. But I also said, but the bottom line is it's your show and you need to do what's right for you and your guests. So the way I do it with my podcast or the way I do it with my client's podcast, might not be right for you. So this is all about just putting off that the tone that you're somebody that's open to conversation, and that I would definitely encourage you to stay active in Facebook groups. Sometimes and Nathan just opened the door. Can you show mommy how you shut the door? Okay, cool. I grabbed myself another 2 minutes. Life as a mom. Okay, so thank you for joining me for today. If you want to learn more about how we can work together with Interview Connections, visit interviewconnections.com. Check out my podcast, Roads to Success podcast.com. And if you are a podcaster, grab my book on Amazon. It's called Podcast Interviews. You could also grab it on my website at interviewconnections.com/guest. And hope you're all having a great week. If you celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. I know I'll talk to you before then, but I'm really excited. We're going to go get a Christmas tree tomorrow, and Nathan's going to go see Santa Claus, so I'm just getting in the holiday spirit. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a great, productive week. Do lots of interviews, and I'll talk to you next Tuesday.